Hello YouTube, I am super excited to bring you this update. As you can see, lots has changed in the fish room. The ugly racks that are here are now gone. Now there is just one rack with 3 rows of 320 longs. I don't know why I had to think about that for a minute, but I did. It's been a long week, a really long week. So yeah, where we used to have the 20 gallons, the 40 breeder down here, and then the reptile enclosures over here, now we have this very simple rack. And these bottom 6 have nothing in them yet, but the top 3 have some fish in here. And here we have the 6-ray Corridoras, formerly an Aspidoras, and a big fat female right here. Hopefully get some eggs out of her in the next day or two. And then just some cherry shrimp in here. There's some micro sword and some crypt custata, which is in immersed form. So we need to have that switch over to submersed. Over here we have an empty tank, but some Junkins repens. Pretty sweet little plant there. And then a crypt parva. Actually, that might be Wallisii. And then the same thing over here in the easy planter, and then some Bacopa, which obviously has not transitioned either, and some Balanisiae, which is transitioned, with some Adolphoi cories. These ones I haven't run air to them yet, but as you can see, it's up there. I just haven't ran it yet. Okay, so real quick about the stand. Very simple build, just 8-foot 2x4s and some 2x4s on the side to screw it into. Basically it. You'll notice there's no center supports here. If we come back, it runs the whole length with no center braces. But if we look under here, you can see that there's actually 3 2x4s. So 1, 2, and then 3, the one up front. So plenty of support. Also, there is some support on the back. You see, we've got 2 45-degree angle boards here, not quite 45, but, and then one in the middle right here. So that's screwed to the studs in the wall and also to the rack, obviously. So hopefully this thing doesn't tip forward because it is very thin, which makes me very happy. So before the stands used to come way out here and it just took up so much room. This aisle was really narrow. And this just opened up so much room for activities. I am so excited. I cannot wait to get these all stocked. I did bring in some new fish that I got from Dan. I got these little freshwater bumblebee gobies. It's been a while since I've had them, so I thought, why not? I needed to fill the box because I was buying some shrimp. And there was room for 6 of those little buggers, so they are in here with the L59 Ancestris plecos. L59, pretty rare. You don't see that one very often. And we're slowly starting to get cories in all these tanks. There's some elegans spawning in the back right now. These are CW 123s, just about half of my group. What else is new? Oh, we gotta come look down here. As far as, I mean, what else is new? We see all these breeder boxes. So there's CW10 in here. I need to remove some of this old crusty food, but probably not going to see the fries. They're really small. There's one moving right there, but they're so tiny. I can't believe it. Compared to like the black Schwarzschild fry, now there's 3 different generations in here. As you can see, tiny, medium, and then large. But even still, they're still spawning. You can see some eggs right here. That's on the outside of the breeder box. And then there's some, you know, various eggs over here. If I don't collect them, the snails get to them though, and the snails are starting to become a problem because there are fry in here that I didn't collect. I mean, there's so many eggs. It's in the, you know, they hide, you don't see them all. So naturally, you're gonna get some fry in here, and I've been overfeeding, which now is getting me snails everywhere. I have shrimp in there that I was hoping would be able to pick up all the extra food, but nope. Now I just have a million snails. Up here we have my mystery apistos, which that's not gonna help us identify at all, but I think they're spawning. These 2 have been in and out of this cave all day, so hopefully, and they're in there with some Hyphesibricon wadii, which are not colored up, and there's no lighting. I really gotta get lighting figured out. That's That's the big problem now, is this, it's a hodgepodge of lighting in here. I guess I don't need to get it figured out. I've already got the lights, right? So I've got all the new co-op LED lights. Ooh, look at the Delphax are spawning up here. Yes, I do write on my tanks because I have no memory whatsoever. So I write the plants and the fish species, unless it's obvious, right? Like, I don't need to come in here and write down that these are Robin A corridors, because it's pretty dang obvious. It's one of the best looking corridors money can buy. They're not even that expensive, about $25, $30 each, which when you consider some of the quote unquote rare, really cool looking quarries are like $300, $400. You know, 25 bucks isn't that bad. And I do think that this is one of the prettiest, if not the prettiest quarry. But again, I got no lighting on here. So yeah, that'll be next week's project. Here, I've got a bunch of Pogostemum narrow leaf floating in here. And it's still turning purple with no light on it. I'm blown away that this plant is purple. I don't know, I mean, look, there's no light on there at all. But there it is. You see it, it's turning purple. Just these cheap shop lights up here, which is kind of bizarre. Now this tank here is pretty well blowed up as I continue to steal quarries and plants out of here. And here you can kind of see the difference with the blueberry tetras, as they're colored up here and they weren't colored up in the other tank. Big difference. As you can see, when they're in a larger school, they're much happier and much more colored up. Pretty typical behavior with all fish though. So I mentioned I got the bumblebee gobies from Dan to fill in the box. What was I filling in for? Or I should say, what else did I get? Well, I got the best looking freshwater shrimp you can get, and there's one right there. But I'll have to pop up some overlay B-roll because I let them all go down there, except for this one. This one honestly does not look good at all. It's pretty bland. There's hardly any color. It's transparent in some parts of its body. And yeah, it might be a cherry shrimp, to be honest. So that's why I didn't dump him in. I wonder if we can see. No, they shipped so small. Honestly, they were like a 1/4 inch. So it's going to be a while before we see anything. And then I also got some of, I think they were calling them ninja wood shrimp. Another Caridina type Sulawesi shrimp that I put in this tank. I also did a big trim in this tank so we can now kind of see in here. And I also just put in some equilibrium so it's kind of cloudy in here. It creates that white cloud if you've never used equilibrium. That's what's going on in this tank, but I don't think we're gonna see any. But really cool Sulawesi shrimp that I've never seen before, and I don't even think I have any B-roll of it. Maybe I can steal a photo from Dan or something and at least show you what they look like. But that's what's been going on in the fish room. Like I said, I'm so excited to have this much room. Like, I can't even like touch the other tanks. I'm so far away. I haven't had this kind of room in a long time. The fish room, both my fish rooms in my last house before I moved were super cramped. This one has been cramped, but it's no longer cramped. I'm watching the Adolphoi quarries up here. Looks like they might be glass surfing here, so I'll have to keep an eye on these guys. Let's take a closer look. I know the differences are slight, but I feel like if they were Adolphoi, they would be more orange on that spot. So I don't know if they're Adolphoi, I don't know if they're Duplicarius, I don't know if they're something else, but they were sold to me as Adolphoi, so that's what I'm sticking with for now. But I don't know if there's any quarry experts watching this video, but I'd like to get your thoughts on this fish right here. Because I really feel that should be more orange. Now, you'll see I have the co-op heaters in here, and that's because I filled these up with the garden hose. So 60-degree water. I had to throw fish in here right away. I've got the used sponge filters for the instant cycle, but I had to throw the heaters in there to help warm it up a little bit quicker. It is toasty in the fish room, but I didn't want to wait a day or two for it to warm up. You know, I'm spending so much time in the fish room every day that I can't afford to wait days for these tanks to heat up. Now, I don't have air to these ones again, so these ones will warm up as they go. But I'm also, you know, waiting for wood to waterlog. Got a couple pieces here that were unfortunately at one time sinking, but I haven't used them in so long that they have since dried out. And yeah, got a nice piece of wood in here, some rocks down here. I'm just slowly throwing some hardscape in these tanks. And if you've ever wanted to see, let's I did have to take the trim off, so don't mind that. It's still there, I just gotta put it back on. So this is what I'm working with here. I don't know if we've ever gotten this angle before. It's about 16 feet by roughly 8 feet. And obviously these 20 longs are 12 inches front to back, and it just freed up so much space. I know I've already said that, but I can't emphasize enough how much this space really opens up. Now you might be wondering what I'm doing down here. This is the next project, probably get done tomorrow or the previous day, building a rack right here for 12, maybe even 16 10-gallon tanks. I'm gonna need them for fry grow out, for breeding apistos. I've got a couple sets of apistos now. I got more on the way, so I'll be using those for breeding. But upon cleaning back here, there's a little lip down here, and swiping with the broom, I swiped a black widow and her egg sack of eggs, whatever, I don't know what they're called. And it broke apart the sack of eggs, and they just scattered. Just thousands of little black widows all over. So now I've got traps down here. As you can see, there's one there, one over here. I've got more traps coming later because I just, you know, don't want to have to deal with black widows in the fish room. I found 2 big fat females. Actually, I still have one. So I did capture one of the black widows here, and I can't get really close. It doesn't want to focus on it. So this is one of the big females. I wish I could get in closer, but a pretty gnarly looking spider. I don't know why anyone would want one of these, but they do sell them in pet stores. But yeah, pretty crazy. I've never had this issue before, and now I do. So you never know what you're gonna get in the fish room. So that's it. It's been a few weeks since I've updated you on what's been going on in the fish room. No, I'm not really filming the build portion of it because I'm really just trying to power through and get it done. But as always, I will bring you along and give you weekly or bi-weekly updates. It's almost done, really. I mean, one more rack, some lighting, and that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know down below what you think about the progress, and I'll see you all in the next video.